Today I'm going to show you how and why we use virtual environments in our Python projects. The first thing that we're going to do is open up an IDE. I have Cursor open, but you could use VS Code or any other IDE that you want to. And the next thing we're going to do is actually go ahead and create a folder here. I'm just going to call this test, and then I'm going to drag this into Cursor, make this full screen so you can see it a bit better. And I can go to the top left here, and I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it main.py. Now, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of Cursor, you're going to see that it says select interpreter. So we're going to click on this, and I'm going to select the recommended interpreter right here. The interpreter is what is going to run your Python code. It reads your .py files and it executes them line by line. So let's click on this recommended one and we can go from there. Now I can go ahead and write something basic here like print hello world, and I can run this Python file. And you can see that hello world now prints in the terminal and Python is working. But let's say we want to do this AI security scanner project with Gemini, or we want to call some different external packages. Something that is very common to see is that you will need to pip install something. So let's say I go ahead and pip install Google Generative AI, which is the Google Generative AI SDK. You're going to notice that it says command not found. And if you notice this little sign in the bottom left, it says you may have installed Python packages in your global environment, which can cause conflicts between package versions. Would you like to create a virtual environment with these packages to isolate your dependencies? Now, we cannot do this because we do need a virtual environment. So why do we need virtual environments? So on the left-hand side here, we don't have virtual environments. We just have one global Python on our laptop. So one install goes across our laptop. And let's say in project A right here, we need pandas 1.5, and that's what we have installed. But in project B, we need pandas 2.0. We need a different version of pandas. So as soon as we install pandas 2.0, that is going to overwrite 1.5, and it's actually going to break project A. And this is because of version conflicts, which is going to ultimately cause problems. So instead, we want a virtual environment. Now, each project is in its own isolated .venv folder. So project A can have pandas 1.5 and project B can have pandas 2.0. They are completely isolated from each other, so they have no conflicts, and therefore everything is going to run smoothly. So let's go back to the terminal now. We're going to create a virtual environment, and this is going to look slightly different for Mac and Windows, but I'll put the prompts on screen for Windows. For a Mac user, you're going to type in Python 3-m-venv. venv. For Windows, you're just going to delete this 3, so it just says Python, and we can go ahead and hit enter. Now, if you're on Cursor or VS Code, you're probably going to get a pop-up that says, we noticed a new environment has been created. Do you want to select it for the workspace folder? We're going to go ahead and hit yes here. Don't worry if you didn't see that pop-up or you click no by mistake. All you got to do is go to the bottom right-hand corner where we clicked on the interpreter before. We're going to click here, and instead of choosing the version without venv, we are going to choose the one with it. So we can just click into here. This is going to tell Cursor to use the virtual environment's Python instead of the global one when running our code now. But we are not done here. Selecting the interpreter is not the same as activating our environment. The terminal is still using global Python. You can see we are still in this test folder right here. So there's two ways that we can activate this, and the easiest way is just to spin up a new terminal, and you'll see the venv at the beginning of the line here. This is an activation indicator, and the terminal is now inside the virtual environment. The other way requires a couple different commands, but if you're on a Mac, you're going to type in source venv/bin/activate, and now you can see that it is activated. Now, if you're on Windows, what you want to type in is venv /scripts /activate.bat, and that should be good to go. So just to recap, we're going to run this code here to create our venv file. If you're on Windows, this is the code right here. You're going to select yes to the pop-up that you get, or you're going to select the interpreter that you need to use. You're then going to activate it by running this code or by creating a new terminal instance. This is the code for Windows. And then lastly, you're ready. Before, obviously, pip install didn't work. So now I can actually go back to the terminal here and type in pip install Google-generative AI, hit enter, and you can see that the command is actually running now. So everything is working, and I can go about continuing on with the project that I was doing before, which, by the way, I'd recommend doing this AI security project. You can get it down below in the link in the description. As always, I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.